Call logs, chats, cookies, device notifications, emails, instant messages, passwords.
You can see deleted conversations on encrypted apps like WhatsApp and Signal, Millie's deleted web browsing history.
Hopefully nothing too embarrassing.
Contact information for everyone she's spoken to, the locations of all her calls.
And you can see other people's phone numbers. So obviously got more.
Can you see their messages to you?
Yeah.
So the police are getting information about people that you've contacted who have nothing to do with the arrest that might have happened.
Exactly, and who may have contacted me securely about work using Signal. I think the most worrying is that this can happen on arrest, even when charges are never even brought. It can also happen to witnesses and to victims. There seems to be nothing clear in terms of deletion, so it seems like the police can effectively do what they want when they obtain your phone.
It's a scary amount of information. It's also so useful for the police. This is going to be so important in investigations.
Of course. The trouble is, at the moment, you don't need a warrant to obtain any of this. There has to be a degree of involvement of checks and balances that says, well, do you know what, in this case, it's not necessary or proportionate. You don't need this person's phone.
How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, you can see from the title, the pictures at the start and the short video. This vlog is going to be on smartphones and what the police can retrieve off your smartphone should they get access to it. Now, the headline reads, guys, how police can download the private contents of your phone in minutes without a warrant and with no limit on the volume of data. Officers can use a machine, the machine's the one that's pictured at the start and also in the video, to extract all kinds of information from phones. This includes location data, deleted pictures and encrypted messages. Experts warn there is no limit on the volume of data police can obtain. The story continues. The police can download your phone data without a warrant in a matter of minutes. A shocking video was revealed. Now, obviously, the video at the start, that's what it's referring to. The footage shows how officers can use a machine to extract all kinds of information, including location data, deleted pictures, and encrypted messages. Opposition groups have argued that the police should not be able to access this data, which can currently be used on suspects, witnesses, and victims. And the reason, like with victims, guys, right, what they say, if you've received threatening messages from someone, say it's an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend, the police will say, well, we need it from source. In other words, we want your mobile phone, right? Which is a load of rubbish. You don't have to hand them your phone. You can just forward the messages on, things like that. So anyway, guys, it continues. They warn that there is no limit on the volume of data police can obtain, and it could happen even if charges are never brought. London-based charity Privacy International has highlighted how police can access people's phones, passwords, internet searches and emails without prior permission. The technology, which has been shown on BBC's Victoria Derbyshire programme, again, the footage is at the start, is currently being used by at least 26 police forces in England and Wales. Using this machine, officers are able to access deleted data, including messages sent to your phone from other people. The decision to download the information is decided on a case-by-case basis, according to the National Police Chiefs Council. Now, I don't buy that. I don't believe that the police do it on a case-by-case basis at all. That's my honest assessment. However, there was never a public announcement about these police powers. So what you've got to ask yourself, why don't the police make this aware to people? Because it might make them think, well, hold on. But what it'll do, it'll tip them off not to use the smartphones, because if criminals are actively using their smartphones whilst taking it with them while they're going on crimes, it's going to like cell site them and put them in locations of certain crimes. And obviously, if the police let people know, obviously criminals will think, well, actually, I'm not going to use my smartphone, because if I do and I get nicked for it because I'm arrested all the time or I'm arrested quite often, then obviously this could open a can of worms and incriminate you and stuff like that, and then put you behind bars. So the police have ushered this in on the quiet. Why? Because in my opinion, it's a shady police tactic and stuff. Let's carry on, guys. Anyway, out of 47 police forces contacted by Privacy International, only 8 said they had implemented guidelines on the use of the technology. There is no limit on the volume of data police can obtain. Millie Graham-Wood, a solicitor at Privacy International, said on the Victoria Derbyshire programme. The most worrying thing is that this can happen on arrest, even when charges are never actually brought. She goes on. However, the police have said that this was just not practical. In lots of cases, officers need to be able to access what is on a mobile phone very, very quickly and to be able to know whether they can arrest the offender to protect the public and to stop other crimes in action, said the former Greater Manchester Police Chief, Sir Peter Fahey. This is a man that stepped down from his job because he had criminal investigations against him, and rather than losing his pension and being sacked for the malfeasance in a public office, he actually stepped down, guys, right? I've done interviews with Fahey. Don't like the man one bit. Corrupt. He's now retired. The technology is also currently being trialled in Scotland, but is not being used in Northern Ireland. In Derbyshire and Wiltshire, the police can even download a phone's contents without the suspect's knowledge. A Home Office spokesman told the BBC that the police needed appropriate powers to tackle crime. Current legislation allows data to be accessed when there are reasonable grounds to believe it contains evidence in relation to an offence, and only in adherence with the data protection and human rights obligations, they said. The government is clear that the use of police powers must be necessary, proportionate and lawful. Now, obviously, guys, right, former criminal. Now, back in the day, police used to seize your phone and they send it to an external company called Technocell, and the Technocell could take 6, 8, 12 months to rip your data off your phone. If you're deleting things, if you're deleting messages, because a lot of people, some people are quite wet behind the ears and they believe if I delete a message, then it's gone. That's not true. The police can retrieve this. Now, some people, guys, I know it's going to sound crazy, but there's a lot of people out there that are not forensically aware, whether it's digitally or forensically. As in, if you're going to commit a crime, say you're going doing a burglary, right, most people would wear leather gloves, balaclava, hood up, keep their face covered and stuff like that. That because they're aware. Because if you look through a window like that, when you get arrested, your fingerprints, your handprints, the side of your hand, all get taken, right? So if you do that with thingy, you're leaving forensics on the window. So obviously people going with gloves and stuff. Then you've got to look at digitally aware, guys, right? So you're looking at things like cell site. If you turn the location off on your smartphone and you're driving down the road and you get a text message, the nearest mast will ping that message to you. Now, if you're committing a criminal act and you've just received a text message and it pings to you and you end up getting arrested, that puts you in the location of the crime that's committed, if you see what I'm saying. And then some people are stupid and have sent incriminating messages to the friends and stuff like that from the phone talking about crimes. They might have Googled an area where the crime's been committed, or at a certain address, or street view on a certain address. All these things, guys, are logged in your phone. Smartphones help the police convict criminals on a daily basis, guys. It's as simple as that. Now, another thing as well, what you've got to look at is you could get nicked on one crime, but your phone data, as it alludes to here, guys, this is what the police access: call logs, chats, cookies, device notifications, emails, instant messages, passwords. You can see deleted messages and conversations on encrypted apps like WhatsApp, for example, your web browsing history, contact information for everyone you've ever spoken to, location of all your calls, even if your location on your phone's turned off, other people's phone numbers, other people's messages to you, your messages to other people, even if you've deleted them, guys, right? Smartphones help the police because, like I say, you might crack on, commit a crime. You might have numerous crimes in your past that have been, like, some people, like I say, they're not switched on, that are criminally active. These messages or whatever, they can be ripped off the phone. So rather than looking, you've been arrested on one charge, but then information comes to light about another offence because of your phone, because of your messages, right? And then next thing, one charge becomes 2 or 3 or 4. And like I say, guys, there's a lot of people out there. A lot of people are clued up and stuff, right? Example, when I was criminally active, would I take my smartphone with me if I was going out doing whatever I was doing? No. Why? Because it links me to locations. I'm very aware digitally and forensically, right? Because you've got to be, if you're active criminal-wise, you've got to have a paranoid mentality where you cover your own arse. If you're committing crime, you've actually got to plan the deceit of the law enforcement, the police, when you're going out and committing crimes. Now, I say that to my shame, guys. I'm no longer involved in crime. But was I switched on and absolutely clued up and on it? Absolutely. Smartphones, guys, like I say, they're incriminating you. They're bouncing off mass everywhere you go. They're putting you in locations. Adam Johnson, the footballer, the paedophile guy, right, started grooming this girl and stuff. Text messages were ripped off his phone. He had extreme pornography on his phone, and he also had Googled the legal age of consent. So that they all helped get him sentenced, and obviously he was sentenced then for citing sexual activity in the presence of a child and stuff because she was obviously under the age of 16. Blah blah blah. So this is what I'm talking about, and it's not. It doesn't just extend to like paedophiles like him. Some people are stupid and will text criminal messages to their boys or WhatsApp their boys, thinking, "Oh, it's encrypted. I've deleted the message. That means that it can't be retrieved." That's absolutely nonsense, guys. Right? It breeds complacency, leads to criminal charges, because if you think you're clueless and stuff like that, and your head's in the clouds and you're not switched on, your phone can act as it's gathering intelligence, and that intelligence then you get arrested a lot. That intelligence then gets handed to the police. The police plug this into that machine that you've seen that looks like an iPad with a black casing, and then all your information's pulled off. All your criminal connections are pulled off. It could be used for police intelligence and stuff. If you are a very serious organised criminal, they could link you to other criminals and stuff, and it paints a picture intelligence-wise for the police. And the police thrive off this stuff. And the police must be sitting there laughing at these people that actively are committing crime and using their smartphones to do it. Me, when I was criminally active, what did I do? I'd have a basher phone. For those that don't know, a basher phone is a cheap phone. The SIM card would remain unregistered. I was so paranoid, I wouldn't even top the phone up. If you top that phone up off your like credit or debit card, that digitally then links to me, right? Stupid. So obviously I used to give a kid a £5, say, listen, go in there, get me a £20 top up. I'd be well off camera, off CCTV somewhere, in a little shop, down like a back alley or something. They'd come up, they'd give me that, I'd ring up, I'd dial the code in, I'd get the credit topped up on my phone. If I was then going out committing crime, once that crime had been committed, if I was committing crime, that is, what I would do, I would snap the SIM card, that phone would go either down a grid, it would go into like a river, a lake, something like that, right? Somewhere it couldn't be retrieved. And then if I was planning another crime, right, obviously when I was criminally active, I am no longer, I would then get another basher phone, another £10, £20 top up, and go again. And then if that crime was committed, and then so that it wipes my own ass, so nothing links me to it, snap the SIM card, flush it down a toilet, fucking put it down a U-bend of a toilet, throw it in a lake, throw it in a river, just discard of it, right? All the time, my smartphone for friends and family was at home. If I get a text message, where does that link me to? My home. Say the police come through my door, right? Say I've gone and committed crime and stuff, right? And I've forensically, I've watched my own back. I've had this basher phone. I've got rid of it. Police come through your door. They take your phone. Your phone and stuff. The text messages have been received and stuff while you've been out committing crime. What does it do? It looks like you've been at home. So on your police interview, you say you deny the allegation. You could drop a prepared statement. Say I deny the allegation of, I don't know, armed robbery or something, or whatever he was doing. As a matter of courtesy, I'll answer no comment to any further questions. And then you can say that you was at home that night, and then say, I'm nothing to do with this charge. I was at home on the night in question. I'll answer no comment to any further question. That way, you're denying the allegation. You're giving an alibi. The police are then going to go through your phone. It links you to home. As long as you are not being messaging other people criminally wise or anything like that, then you should be fine. We was that paranoid. We used to use radios. We wouldn't even have phones. We'd use radios, walkie-talkies, proper, expensive 40, 50-mile radius walkie-talkies, guys, right? And we'd drive around in cars, in 2 or 3 cars, and we'd all be radioed up and stuff. We didn't even use our names. We had call signs, guys, legit, like Charlie 1, Cody 1, or Charlie 2, Cody 2, right? We literally had code words for each other. If we were driving in a two vehicle convoy or a 3 vehicle convoy, right? We would literally be on the radio. Why? Because there was no digital link there. Honest to God, guys, I can't stress enough how much smartphones, right? You sat there with your little Snapchat filters, right? Your Snapchat maps your face, right? In my opinion, I've looked at patents and stuff for copyright for these sorts of things in America, and it goes back to the FBI or the FBI or the Criminal Bureau Investigations, right? FBI and stuff like that. So if that's over there with Snapchat filters going to the government, I'm going to assume that the same thing's happening here with Snapchat filters here, where it maps your face. You've got Facebook selling your details and stuff to the government. you're flicking through, like, you might read a news story and something will pop up that's relevant because your phone's mapping it all the time. Honest to God, guys, smartphones are a great thing. You've got children, guys, these days being raised by fucking iPads. An iPad is more of a father to the kid than fucking the father or the mother in some cases, guys, yeah? Like I say, we're living this smartphone, living on apps and stuff like that, guys, yeah? And it's all cool. We're accepting loads of friend requests on Facebook. We haven't got a clue who these people are. If you're actively criminal-wise, you do not want that to be the case. Like I say, guys, how crazy is that though? Call logs, they can get you chats, cookies, device notifications, emails, instant messages to and from you, passwords, so they can get into other things. You can see deleted messages and conversations on encrypted apps, web browsing history, contact information for everyone you've ever spoken to, location of all your calls, even if your location's turned off, other people's phone numbers, other people's messages to you, your messages to other people. And there's a lot of criminals out there, right, for the fucking amateurs out there, that will actively send incriminating messages to their boys. They'll link up with their boys, right? Say four 18-year-old lads go and commit a crime. They've all been fucking WhatsApping about the crime, blah, 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 yeah, chatting because they're young kids, yeah. Then all four of them get pulled in because someone fucks up and they arrest one person from this criminal gang, right? Say 4 kids have committed an offence. One of them gets arrested. His smartphone then incriminates 3 other people. Before you know it, them 3 other people are all in. Next thing, they're all been charged and they're all going for fucking trial, or they've been found guilty or something. It goes on, guys. So this information that the police and stuff, it's been ushered in on the quiet because it's like a spider's web to catch people. And like I say, one crime, then it could, like I say, you might be arrested for one crime. They rip all this information off your phone, and next minute you're on a second charge, a third charge, a fourth charge. You've incriminated other people. It causes major problems, guys. It really, really does. It's a dirty tactic by the police, but with fewer police on the streets, these are the sorts of things they're implementing and stuff. If they pull you on for other charges and stuff, you can cite what they call an abusive process. Because if they come for one charge and they can't get you on that, they'll grab a second charge that you might have slipped up on. And it's not just for paedophiles and all that stuff, guys. Like I say, you've got people that are actively, they might Google an address because they're going to rob it, right? Then they might be down there at 4 o'clock in the morning casing the joint. They get a text message. It links them to the location. They're searching for the address. Then that address ends up getting fucking raided because the lads end up going through the door or whatever, going through for a graft or something, or a fucking grow or something. And then next minute they're all arrested. They all end up in prison. Right, guys, going to leave it here, guys. Rambled on for fucking 16 minutes. Like, comment, subscribe. Put your comments in the comment section below. Speak to you all soon. Cody out.